Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Follygon, and today we're going to continue working on our witch. We've been working on this character for the month of October, trying to finish it before Halloween. We're going to continue to do some of that today, but later on today I'm going to be streaming on the Pixelogic ZBrush channel, and there's a link to that below, but I'm going to be using this, this SpongeBob muffin. I spent, gosh, this was... oh man, maybe a few months ago, maybe like 4, maybe even 5 months ago. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I made a few different muffins. I did like a muffin a day, spent maybe like an hour or two making these. And I did that for like a week, and I called it the morning muffin. And it was a lot of fun to just play around and mess with. But later on the Pixelogic ZBrush stream, I am at 6 p.m. EST, or 3 p.m. Pacific. I am going to be taking our SpongeBob boy here and showing you guys how to set him up or set up a 3D model in ZBrush for full color printing through Shapeways, full color SLS sandstone printing. Let's turn our face cam on here. So an example of that would be all these little 3D printable dudes that I got on my desk. There's a ton of them. Here's my personal, Follygon. I use him as my little icon there, but yeah, he's pretty cool. And then I just have, just knocked the thing over. I got a ton of these on my desk if you haven't seen them. And if you guys want to see more, there's also a link to my 3D print shop. You don't have to, I'm not saying go buy something, but I'm just saying if you guys want to check them out, they are on there for your viewing pleasure. Let's go back to our ZBrush here. Whoops. But yeah, I'm going to be walking through the entire process. We'll have 2 hours or so to do that, but again, that'll be at 6 p.m. EST, so come hang out, and we'll see how that goes. And if we don't end up finishing it in time, I'll finish it next week on the same day, Tuesday next week, same time. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, so if you are around, please do come by and hang out. Our little SpongeBob muffin here. I don't know what flavor he would be. Not very good, I would guess. All right, let's grab our witch here, and let's get into it, guys. Let's get back into it, I should say. So what are we doing today? We're doing a lot. We've been doing a lot too. I've since our last stream, I have really taken the time to apply some of these secondary forms into our clothing and really just add some additional visual interest around there. I was thinking it would be cool. I've decided that I do like the vines around the staff, but to make them more viney, I'd like to get maybe a couple offshoots, maybe some leaves, something like that. So we can make some leaves and apply them on there. That should be super hard. Also, I was thinking about, just kind of looking at this, I kind of want to darken up her arms, make it look like she's wearing sleeves. So we're also going to be doing that. I'm probably going to start with that, and then we can get into some of the leaves and some of the other stuff here. But yeah, as always, guys, let me know if you have any questions as we go along here, and I'll do my best to answer what I can. But cool, let's just straight up get to work. Try to fix whatever the heck's going on here. So we have two separate tub tools, subtools for our, tub tools. Oh, Pixelogic, please invent tub tools. Let's see. So we got two separate subtools, and I need to combine these. So there's a couple ways to do that, but the easiest way for me is to just Dynamesh these together and then continue working on them. So let's do that. We'll just use whatever our resolution is there. Let's see. I think that's just fine. And we'll just start cleaning up these two pieces. Oh man. All right, let's get in here. Clean this up some more. It's not looking super great around the finger, or fingers, all of them, really. Can start to soften our little knuckle transition that we started to build, and then we'll also work on all these little finger transitions as well, finger and tone, all that good stuff. But after cleaning that up, so the thing I wanted to try was, let's see, just come on through here, Just like, we'll do a quick little mask. This doesn't need to be awesome. I just want to get an idea of what this is going to look like if we do, let's see, mRGB up here. Fill all that in. Cool. And maybe we can create some additional thickness there to actually make a sleeve for her arm. So the main issue here that I'm wanting to avoid, let's grab this again. Whoops. There we go. So I don't want that arm to be super visible in there. And I was thinking that we could maybe, you know, close this off, make it a sleeve instead of just like this top portion of the robe. We could do that. We could also, like I said, try to give her just an extra sleeve around her arm, something like this. Let's go with that because I think that's going to be a lot faster and easier, and it'll allow us to kind of just like smooth out some of these harder transitions, and I think getting this to look a lot better. So let's do that. More layers of things. So the reason I merged these together was to clean up that transitional area, but now we're going to re-separate them. Gotta keep them separated, and let's see, double, and actually we'll run a, let's grab this color, and I'm just going to run a ZRemesh on this. I don't care how much of the form we lose because it's acting as a sleeve, so it's going to have a lot more, what would be the word, leeway, gravity. It's not going to retain as much of the arm form in there as what we need. Katie, hello, welcome. Ohio gozaimasu. Welcome to the stream. What is going on? Let's get in here and for those that are just joining us, the giant SpongeBob muffin over here, that's for later today on the Pixelogic channel. We're going to be doing some cool stuff with that. I'm going to be showing in real time the process for taking a ZBrush model or character or whatever you have and 3D printing it with full color SLS sandstone through Shapeways. It'll be a ton of fun, and I'm really excited to do that. So you guys should definitely come by if you can. That's at 6 p.m. EST or 3 p.m. Pacific. Not a minute later or earlier. Okay, so inflate, and I've done this without closing the hole first, and I will definitely be going through here and just getting rid of a lot of this additional form in here. So let's let's just add some subdivs to really control smooth a lot better. Get a lot more control out of this. Just get this a little bit more uniform. And let's hide that hat. The hat always gets in the way for me while I'm working. And I'm also going to bring this up to, about the wrist there. We'll play with the thickness of this. The main thing we need first is just getting this to get in place, and then maybe we can merge this with this layer of clothing just to make that blend in a little bit better and feel more like an actual sleeve here. Whoops. Had the wrong subtool there. Alright, cool. Let's keep going here. Keep messing with this. And some smoothing and moving. That's pretty much it right now. So I've kind of temporarily added subdivs in here. And essentially what that allows me to do is kind of control how strong this smooth brush is as I step up and down my subdivision levels. And this color is a little bit dark, so I might like temporarily toggle that off just so I can see. But other than that, we're pretty close to where we want to be already. So let's just delete all that. Doing some rough sketches for your witch concept. Awesome. I'm excited for you to start on that. That'll be a lot of fun. Halloween's coming up. It is the time. If you're not working on a witch right now, what the heck are you doing? You're wasting your time. Let's try maybe getting that a little bit lower. But yes, I don't know if you've posted concepts for your witch yet, but I have not seen any. But I don't know if you're just now starting today. That's cool though. I am into it. Join everybody join in on the witch party. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing for this arm. I know it's really rough right now over here. It's totally okay. It's what we want for now. And for this one we'll do, look at this. I also need some pretty some decent amount of work over on our hands. We just kind of blocked these in really roughly and got those into position. Gripping stuff is always really tough. Yeah, there's no way around it. It's just a lot of work that has to go into it. An annoyingly large amount of work. Hands in general are really tough. Just kind of take your time with it. I've sculpted too many hands. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of sculpting hands. Just because it is so much work. Let's see, how do I want to do this real quick? No, I think I did that backwards. There we go. Yes. This is what I want. Cool. I want a little bit of wrist, like, even though you're not going to be able to see it, I want a little bit to be going back into this sleeve that we're making. And I guess we can just remesh this, yeah? Let's do it. Remesh away. But yeah, what was I saying? I don't remember. Something. Make a witch. Make a witch for Halloween. Make something spooky for Halloween. If you're thinking about making something, jump on it. No day like today. Let's get some more spooky artwork out there. Maybe not spooky in my case, but Halloween themed artwork. What the heck? What? I could have sworn I set that on 0.1. How did that even happen? I've like never... That was weird. Also, that happened very quickly for a 100 target poly count. That's super crazy. It was like 100k ZBrush. Trying to figure out a good pose at the moment. Ooh, maybe you could do something where they're floating up in the air and casting a spell. That might be cool. Just an idea. I didn't pull that from anywhere, but you were originally the one who had that idea. Gave me the idea to make her float for her pose. Thank you, by the way. I think it was a very cool idea. Hence why we did it. I was looking at, so for me, I was looking at references of Storm. I don't know if you remember that or if you were there for that part, but Storm from the X-Men, because she like a lot of images of her are like her floating up in the air, like shooting lightning out of her hands and stuff. So that was a pretty good reference for me. If you're trying to come up with the pose, I don't know, think of a character. I try to like just Google a crap ton of stuff, but looking at like generic poses doesn't really help me. I try to think of something really specific, or I try to like act it out myself, which is always a ton of fun, as long as no one's watching me do it. But we did end up, I think, acting one of our poses out on stream a little bit ago. And yeah, that was just a blast. Tons of fun. Just embarrassing myself. If I'm not embarrassing myself, why am I even on the internet? Okay, so we've got two sleeveys. Sleevey sounds like an evolution Sleevey. Your Eevee evolved into Sleevey. Let's hide this stupid long hair. Alright, so I think honestly our sleeves, the only additional thing I want to add to them is some taper. They're really not going to be seen just because, you know, we're like pretty much black on black in here. Dark color on dark color. It's all going to blend together up through here. And you can only see up into this area from one specific angle as well. So that's an additional reason why I'm not super worried about this. But what I will do is add... I'll either close this off, or I'll close it off or add thickness. Let's try adding thickness, I guess. See what that looks like. So, extrude all the polygons. Boom, boom. And I don't even know if I'll do any beveling or creasing around there. I might just like leave it as is. What'd I just do? I just messed something up in my ZModeler brush. Okay, so let's pull this. So like I said, maybe some taper, and the way I would do that is just kind of, you know, make it actually feel like a sleeve and get some of this weighted gravity here. Weighted gravity? Is there any other kind of gravity? Get some gravity in there. It feels fine for now. Let's look at the other one. We'll just jump around a lot, and then I'll turn everything on, and then we can work on these with everything on at once, which is a lot nicer. So thickness, we need to add thickness over here. Best time to plant a tree is 12 years ago. Second best time to plant a tree is today. Yes, absolutely. And wise men plant tree whose shade they will never sit under. Alright, that's another one. Yeah, yes, I absolutely agree. What's wrong with my brush? Extrude. Yes. I don't know if 12 years ago specifically was the best time to plant a tree, but yes, in the past was the best time to get started. The second best time to get started is, in fact, right this very moment. Yeah. I don't really get a lot of those questions anymore, though. A long time ago, I used to get questions all the time that were like, how do you get started? How do you do it? Now I do have like the definitive answer where like I actually made a quick start guide for people. Check it out, it's on my Gumroad, link below. But yeah, I don't know, I don't really get those questions too often anymore. It just used to be like, I don't know where to start, like, how do you, like, I can't stay motivated, yada yada. Maybe it's because I started saying more and more often that I'm very bad at answering questions about motivation and all that, and I still definitely believe that that is true. I am very bad at answering those types of questions, so if you're going to ask, you'll probably get an answer that's like, I don't know, man, just do it. just do what you want to do. I always feel that, I probably sound like a broken record if you've been here before, but I feel like I say this all the time. You're always going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. So if you don't do something creative or something that you want to do full time and you have another job and you hate that job, but you come home at the end of the day and you're just too tired to do anything else, so you just chill and watch Netflix or chill and play a video game, it's like, cool, like, that's what you want to do, right? Like, you may want to do some art stuff, but like, deep down you just, like, right now you want to chill. But like what Katie said, the best time to plant a tree is 12 years ago. It definitely applies in that regard. Like, you have to do the boring, crappy, hard work to get to the fun stuff where you're starting to make characters that you actually like, that look appealing, that look like a SpongeBob muffin. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely true. And like I said, I'm always so terrible at answering those motivational questions, just because I don't really know. I really enjoy sculpting. I really enjoy doing this stuff. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, I don't know, like, do what you want to do, right? I don't really have a better answer than that, and I don't think there is a better answer than that. I don't think there's like a secret. There's no like other secret than work hard and eat your vegetables and stay in school. Like, work hard. That's the big secret. Work hard and work a lot. Because the only difference between an amazing artist and someone that's just starting today is time. Hours, mileage, whatever you want to call it. That's all it is. And once you realize that, it's like, once you like absorb that, and I'm sure like deep down people know that. Like, at least I think deep down people really know that, but once you like really absorb that, it's like, wow, now I actually, I want to get there. I want to get to that point. So let's do all that hard, boring work. That hard, boring work that I actually really don't want to do. Boom, we did it. We made some poopy sleeves, and they look real bad. But we'll fix them. We will clean and fix them up. But we also have some poopy hands, and our hands look much more poopy than our sleeves that we've just added here. So let's focus on the hands for a little bit. I really just want to simplify a lot of these hard lines and get this headed in a better direction. Other than that, I really don't think there's a lot that I need to do to the actual pose of the hands. I think they're in good hands. They're in a good place. I'm sorry for the handy joke that I just made. Ha ha ha. We'll just shut up and sculpt. All right. Creases of the fingers on the bottom. One thing you can do to retain some of this form. You know what? Let's avoid that. Let's just remesh this and see what comes out. Let's see what sticks. That's looking pretty good there. All right. Remesh. Let's remesh. Duplicate. 1K ZRemesh should be enough. We'll see. We might need a little bit more, just to hold some of that additional form. But welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. All the new peeps. Some new peeps popping in here. If you're brand new, my name is Ben, or you can call me Follygon. If you're wondering about the SpongeBob muffin that we got going on over here, we're working on a witch for October, right? But we also have a SpongeBob muffin. I'm going to be streaming on the Pixelogic ZBrush channel, the creators of this software. I'm going to be streaming on their Twitch channel later today at 6 p.m. EST. And I'm going to be walking us through the process for how you can 3D print something in full color sandstone through Shapeways. So definitely come by and hang out if you are going to be around. I'd love for you to stop in and say hi. If not, the stream always a yes. The stream does go up on YouTube within like 24 or 48 hours on the Pixo channel after I am done streaming. It's going to be about like a 2-hour thing. I don't know if we'll be able to go through the whole process. I think we will. I have a feeling it shouldn't take super long. But if not, we will continue it later that week, the next Tuesday, 1 week from today. All right. I think that cleans up our hand pretty well. Nath, are you going to host it on your Twitch channel? It should. My Twitch channel auto hosts Pixelogic, the Pixelogic ZBrush channel. I'm not sure if I have anything above it in the auto hosting list. I can set it to manually host the Pixelogic channel though. Once I jump on, I can do that if I remember. But if not, it's just if you just search Pixelogic ZBrush or just ZBrush on here on Twitch, you should find it without any issues. Osidanima, what is going on? The queen of intro fighters has returned, the ultimate champ. Thank you, you're very welcome, man. It's part of a Chinese proverb, the 12 trees thing, or 12 trees, 12 years. Best time to plant a tree is 12 years. Everything's a Chinese proverb. They feel like if you say anything wise, it's like the Chinese did it. They said it first. That's actually popularly misquoted. Andrew Jackson was the first man to popularize that quote. I'm totally lying right now, but for a split second there, you absolutely thought. You questioned yourself. You were like, maybe, I don't know. Alright, so I am coming in here really just kind of destroying most of these hard shadows. I don't want any of those hard shadows. Even up here on the knuckles, really it gets all over the place. We're not going to do fingernails or anything like that. We could even, honestly, to make this even more visually interesting, we could add some like fingerless gloves. Everybody loves fingerless gloves, right? If Ash Ketchum can wear them, then you know they're cool. Alright, let's destroy all these super hard transitional lines. Some of these I want to keep. Just soften some. Around here in the palm, I think we can pretty much get rid of all that. Like I said, hands are really tough. I would love to spend a ton of time sculpting a hand in a future stream and like really getting into it and trying to make something really cool and appealing. Maybe we can find a really cool hand pose, something that's like super crazy. This was supposed to be a super crazy hand pose that I just made. It was not, though. In the future, we can try doing something with that. For this character, I don't think the hands are gonna like make or break it, so I don't want to sit here and spend 3 days just sculpting one hand. I'd rather spend that elsewhere, so we shall do exactly that. Alright. And let's look at our hand over here. This one's a little bit more crazy. We got hands where the palm and the fingers all split off right now. So we can zoom in on here. Ooh, that's nice. And by nice, I mean, oh God, what are we doing? How do we fix this? Let's see. Let's move this vine here. I'm gonna try adding some leaves to this as well, just so it's leaves and some like offshoots or something like that, just so it's very obvious that we have a vine wrapping around here and grabbing onto our little gemstone up there, which is the source of Gravy Nova's magical power. By the way, our witch's name is Gravy Nova, if you didn't know. I let you guys name her, or a couple of you that were in here for our stream chose Gravy Nova. An excellent choice, if I do say so myself. Next time in the future, we'll see what we come up with for our next character. By the way, you guys need to be coming up with some suggestions for what we're going to be sculpting next. I was thinking of doing a fusion of something, but maybe not. Maybe we'll do something else. If somebody has a better idea, we shall see. But I am all ears for some cool suggestions. I put like a crap ton of ice in this thing right before I started streaming, and it's like all stuck together, stuck at the top, and I like can barely get any water out now. Just one giant iceberg in there. Okay. So with something like this, with all the fingers all kind of together, like if you're gripping something, I was just like, sometimes I don't know if this is on camera, yeah. So sometimes I'll like try to find something that I can grab just to get an idea of of silhouette references and stuff. It's better if you have something that's closer to the thickness of the thing that your character is going to be grabbing, so that you get a good reference. But what we'll do here is merge one finger down at a time, but we will be merging the fingers together, so they'll be getting all crazy here, but it should be fine. I'll just do this manually. Split these off real quick. And let's merge all these together. Okay. I'll just do a quick Dynamesh. And I am not worried about this looking, like I said, super awesome. Much like with our other hand. Maybe we'll add like a fingerless glove or something. But I don't want to spend like a year working on these. We can maybe make these separations between the fingers a little bit better. I don't know. I'm not super worried about it. I say that now, but watch later, I'll be like, let's do more with the hands. I'll always go back and be like, we can do better on that. I don't know. Let's just work on kind of the bigger picture here, though. Move some of these around a little bit. Mainly I'm using my trim dynamic to just work on that little area between our knuckle, that first knuckle, and the back of the hand. And then once we get all those in there, we will define that a little bit better. Okay. So let's grab our sharp soft edge. And we'll just do some rough, really rough kind of additional form in here. Like I said, I don't think we need to spend 3 whole days working on these hands. I think we've already spent enough time just playing around with different poses and ideas. So let's get the main stuff out of the way here. Pretty messy. We'll remesh here in just a little bit. Whoa. Nice. Alright. Let's pull this up. Start getting the knuckle to translate. Get that silhouette break up. I like to use the pinch brush a lot for just taking a surface and saying, hey, start to go this way. So then as I start to work on it more and more, I can kind of force it to go a specific direction. It's very useful. The brush is way too strong. Keep that nice and rough there. Let's see, where's our little staffy here? And I haven't merged the thumb yet. We'll do that here in a little bit. Trying to... It's getting too rounded here, so now let's transition down into here. Alright, that's what we need. So I like to hold the Alt key with the trim brush here. Adds like this alternate kind of build-up effect instead of the standard trim. And it allows you to do some pretty cool stuff. You can start to fill in little gaps like this, which we will do. So we start to transition that better and better. And we'll just probably call that fine after I remesh this and we'll clean it up some more. Alright. How am I going to do this? Let's see. I think we're going to try this first. All this is one, these as separate groups. You know what? Nah, screw it. I don't care. We'll just do it all at once. ZBrush that bad boy. After that's done, a little bit more cleanup in there. And we'll grab our thumb and plop that on there too. Ooh, I guess I should project some of that. Delete our old hand, only keep the remeshed version. Grab our thumb there. Guess we can fill in our poly paint and everything. I really only need the kind of distance read here, so a lot of this is going to go away. Shouldn't be too much work though. Just some pinching and pushing some stuff around a little bit more. So if you guys are struggling with your smooth brush, I know a lot of the times the smooth brush can be super destructive. I recommend trying out that trim brush, that trim dynamic. It's really good for just allowing you to control exactly what is getting knocked back or pulled out, depending on how you're using the brush. The smooth brush, it's just kind of all over the place, and I don't know. It takes a gentle touch, a very gentle touch, to use the smooth brush effectively and not destroy a lot of that bad stuff that you got going on. Or I'm sorry, a lot of that good stuff that you got going on. It'll turn it into bad stuff. It's just really easy to sit here and in just 2 seconds start to smooth out a bunch of stuff and then lose just a ton of form that you've built up. There actually is even a stronger smooth brush, and you can turn up the settings on your smooth brush to make it even more powerful. I don't think I've ever, maybe like once I've needed to do that on some like super high-res Dynamesh piece. Back before we had the Z-Modeler brush and live booleans, there were a lot of workarounds that you had to use with Dynamesh. It kinda sucked. That's why I was so excited when the ability to use like poly modeling tools in ZBrush came out. Oh man, the Z-Modeler brush is so awesome. And then live booleans were like a huge game changer. And now we got folders coming out, and some UV tool sets in ZBrush. So it seems like every year we're getting something kind of game changing. Not that folders will be game changing. I don't think that'll be the case, but they will be a very nice and desired addition to our tool set. Okay, let's keep that the way it is for now. And really, I think I'm just going to straight up Dynamesh that thumb in. If I really didn't want to merge these together, if I didn't want these to the thumb and fingers to Dynamesh together right there, what I would do is take this thumb and rotate it out, then merge it together, and then after remeshing, then I could re-overlay that without those pieces of geometry kind of forming together. But for now, like I said, doesn't really matter. It's just like, let's just get it done here. I am totally okay with that. We'll have to do obviously some cleanup around there, but that'll be fine. Let's do, I don't remember what our resolution was. Maybe around here. That's fine. We'll have to turn off that poly paint though. Alright, cool. One thing that I do really like about Dynamesh when you're sculpting is that if you're using some pinch brushes and some other stuff to like really warp your form, as you start to pinch in on areas of geometry, the geometry will start to like pull in on itself and get tighter and tighter, and what Dynamesh does is it evens that back out. It evens out your geometry, which is super nice. I use it for that all the time. So if I'm like sitting there really just pinching a surface and like destroying it pretty much, then I can clean that up pretty quickly. I know some people don't like to use Dynamesh. They'll just like stay with clean topo the whole time, or even just stick with Z-remeshing pieces and merging the geometry through some other methods. Like, what's it called? Like merge by, it's like, I don't remember where it is. It might be in modify topology or something, but you can like merge by separate poly groups of pieces. There's a bunch of little merging tricks that I typically don't mess with. At this point, I feel like I'm like an old man set in my ways, my workflow. Like, I'm not changing. I don't care if there's an easier way. No, that's not true. I'm always looking for anything I can. So if you guys see me do something and you're like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing it that way? There's like a way you can do that 10 times easier, man. Shout it out. Let me know. I'm always looking for new cool ways to do stuff. Because maybe I just don't know. It's very possible. I've been using ZBrush for a good while now, and I feel like I know just about everything in this software, like all our cool hidden tricks and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes stuff slips past you. So if there's a cool, easier way to do something than what I'm doing, let me know. But you have to say it. You have to say it in a very like haughty way, like idiot. Like, you got to make me feel real bad about it, so I definitely change my ways. Because if you're too nice about it, I'll be like, nah, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. All right, let's just get in here, clean up some more of this stuff. Blah blah blah. Sure, looks good. Looks perfect. I couldn't imagine that being any better. Getting that distance read, probably trim up the knuckles, make these lines go away. These dark, deep shadows. These bad shadows. This is just Dynamesh right now. I mean, I can remesh it, but why should I? I probably will, but not right this second. Alright, a little messy, but I'm totally cool with that. Okay, so let's look at just our sleeves and our hands and everything kind of working together here. Beautiful. Alright, let's maybe... How far down can I pull this sleeve without it getting too crazy here? And I'll also show you guys a little trick for something that's done in production for toys. If you ever have an open face or like a sleeve or a dress or something where you're gonna need to fill that in, what we can do is go into, let's say about here, we'll delete that purple, and boom. Okay, so I'm gonna delete all of this geometry. So we got a few edges in there, and then on that I will just run a close holes operation. Make sure that we're on the same color. Close holes, and now we have a little inner surface there. If we want, we can also crease Crease all that. So that surface is flat in there. And then you have, we can maybe even make that a little bit less shallow. Or I'm sorry, less deep. But that's the basic idea. Instead, I'll just take my wrist and pull it in to our sleeve. Amazing, I know. Tricks of the trade. So, obviously for something that's going to be produced in real life, you can't have like all these sleeves that are actually hollow, and you can't have necessarily always like a body underneath your clothing. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for you to have all this extra stuff that literally can't be seen or that's covered up. And even for the production process, that stuff would just be vanished or destroyed through the process of merging a bunch of stuff together and prepping it for you know, printing, milling, whatever it's going to. Alright, let's grab here. We'll do the same thing, just kind of pull our sleeve down, give it some additional gravity, additional weight. And I'm really trying to get a decent taper here. I feel like we're not doing a great job. It's more so what I'm looking for. Let's try this again. Really start to turn that angle. There we go. And if things are, you know, all the colors and poly paint and everything else is getting in your way, it's really easy for us to just hold the shift key, turn all this off, go back to our, you know, just clay sculpting material, and see how everything is feeling. The better you're going to look in this stage without color, without poly paint, the better things are going to be once you do start adding that poly paint on. And sometimes I'll do this just to, like later on in the process, just to recheck things, make sure everything's feeling proportionally good, make sure that I'm not missing any surfaces that are extremely, you know, dirty, messed up, whatever you want to call it. Pelmy and Engine, welcome guys, welcome back. What is going on? How you guys doing today? We're working on some sleeves, some sleevies. I'm looking at this right now. I'll just leave that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, cool. Welcome, guys. Let's close off this sleeve next. Grab a few edge loops back in here and delete all this internal stuff. Run a close holes. And if this was for production, especially 3D printing, we would need to thicken this up significantly. This is way too thin. That's just like not gonna fly at all. And this hole is too deep, but I'm, you know, just doing this for, if I want to 3D print this later, this is not difficult to change. Also, our stupid normals are flipped, which is why some other stuff isn't working. Alright, we'll thicken that up. Get that feeling a lot better. And up here as well. Oh, our normals are flipped up here as well. Cool. Great. Perfect. Everything is broken. Okay. Okay. Feels good. Turn all our poly paint back on. Materials and poly paints. I'm using a material that's very similar to Skin Shade 4, it's just ever so slightly different. It's the ZBrush paint. You can find it on his blog, I believe. Let's see. All right. These are feeling much better to me now. Before the just the bare arms in there were, you know, in these areas where you can see up under the robe here, they kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. It was I don't know. I didn't like it. It was very distracting. It didn't look great at all. Okay, so we've done some sleeves. Another thing that we definitely want to look at is this wrist. Let's see, where's this sleeve? Okay, I need to make sure that this wrist is going back far enough. So maybe now I can remesh this really fast. I guess we'll do that. Alright, so once that's done Z-remeshing, we'll pull this wrist back and then we'll look at our magic staff and adding some offshoots to our vines and adding some like leaves on there or something, just to make sure that it's very obvious that we got some vines. That's just beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. That purple poisoned destroyed hand. This looks alright. Hopefully we can get enough of this back. Like I said, it doesn't need to be great. I just want to have these major forms in here. I think, let's take a look. Let's at least get this lined up with our sleeve, and then we will continue on here. Pull that back a lot. Oh, what's going on? All right. So let's move this sleeve a little bit there. Oh, let's get that interacting a little bit better. And now let's look at creating some vines and leaves for our magical staff up here. Alright, so we'll turn on just our staff, just our magical, beautiful staff here. And I guess we should probably start by making a leaf first, and then maybe we could add some like little offshoot vines or something. Let's just start with doing some leaves. If you guys saw, I streamed a little bit of this character. There's probably a playlist on my YouTube channel, I can't remember, where I worked on that guy, the froggy. Yes, there are 7. There are 7 videos of me working on this little dude, but we made some leaves during that process. And we'll probably handle it in a similar way. We can do that, or we can just straight up grab our frog and import some leaves in here. I might actually do that because leaves aren't, well, they're not difficult to make, but if you have something that you can pull from, you might as well. Let me see if I can find this little froggy boy here. Frog wizard, there he is. And whoa, gotta follow. Etriz, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. Let's grab our froggy boy here. With it final? Sure. Final_final. This is the last one, 7. So we're gonna import our froggy boy here and grab some leaves. Grab some leaves from him. So if you guys didn't see this one, I really like the way he turned out. He is the original 2D concept is by, I'm gonna forget, so we're gonna look it up because I feel bad not mentioning them. It is by Danny Cruz on ArtStation. Let's check it out. Here it is. So there's the original piece, the original 2D concept, and there's the finished frog boy, and then obviously in 3D. Here we go. Awesome. So he turned out really cool. I like him a lot. But we came here for your leaves, sir. Just your leaves. Give me your leaves. Give me all the leaves you got. And no frogs get hurt. So there's this nice little delete other function down here. Deletes everything except for our leaves. And let's see. I'll just grab one of these. The most simple shaped one is probably this really tiny leaf. Is this okay? Looks like it got a little messed up on the edges. Alright, we will take this one. So let's delete hidden. And then once I have that object, I can just click append, grab that leaf. And I'll shove that leaf in my scene wherever it was compared to the frog. So now we can go to size, grow that up. Now we got a cool little leaf here. Whoa, whoa! What are you doing? What's why'd you just do that? Giant leaf. Okay. It's like in I don't know if you guys have played. Crap, I'm gonna forget the name of it. The new Zelda game. But you can have a giant leaf, and you can like use that giant leaf to like make wind, and you can use it on a sailboat. It's pretty cool. What is that freaking totally spacing? Let's see here. We'll go back. Okay, so we got our leaf. And I don't think this has subdivision levels. We can check by trying to reconstruct. It does. Gasp. Wow, I'm surprised. Okay. So this leaf, this little tiny leaf here, actually has subdivision levels. That's awesome. I think what we're going to do, though, is just make this an insert mesh brush, and then stick it around on our vines. So the way you do that, you just click up on your brushes here, and click Create Insert Mesh, and click New. That'll give us a new... Yes, I don't know. I don't think it'll have subdivs, right? No. Okay. Whoa. We're saving. Alright, so... What happened to our music? Okay. So we're going to take our leaf now, our leaf brush that we just made, and just kind of randomly stick it around here. We'll try to find some good places that make a bit more sense and add a bit more visual interest. Our hand is all messed up, isn't it? Oh no. It's the yawns start. Oh, what? Wait, what? No. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we will add leaves. So let's just take our vines, duplicate them, and we can now insert some leaves around here wherever we feel like it. Let's turn off everything except for our staff. And I'll also turn on, let's see, where's that hand? I'll turn that on as well. And maybe just the sleeve. Okay, so to create an insert mesh, typically you want to create a proxy to insert that stuff on. Let's grab our leaf here, and we'll just start applying this wherever we see fit. Actually, a thing that we can do, a little trick that we can do, is when you create your insert mesh brush, depending on how you're looking at the mesh, it'll define how it applies to the surface. So we can turn our camera here, and now it should apply it. Okay, now it's doing it backwards. We'll try that one more time. Okay, we'll look at the leaf. It shouldn't do that. That's definitely, I don't think that's correct. Okay, yes, that is what I wanted. Alright. So let's see, where can we put some leaves? I think we'll put a leaf over here by the hand. The color of this doesn't matter right now, so we'll just grab something. Color, rotation, angle, size, we will fix all that after we get all these leaves in order. But let's just stick a few on here and there. Probably do like maybe a couple like clumps of leaves or something. You want to be careful with insert mesh brushes as well, because I'm kind of reticent to show this, but if you start to grow out your, yeah, there you go. If you start to like grow out your shape, and now it might be broken, that's not, okay, so if you start to grow it out, right, and then you shrink it, the default action is that it like starts to scale that in, and it's really stupid. I don't like it at all. I hate it. There is, if you're drawing out your insert mesh and then hold control, it will always be the same size based on your draw size. So if we set this to like 150, I can make a whole bunch of leaves that are exactly the same size. So that's a nice little insert mesh trick. There are a few other like little things like that. For the most part though, I tend to just kind of, you know, manually go through here, drop those in, and again, we'll mess with color, size, and everything else here in a moment. The important thing is that I just don't completely screw up the scale on these. That would be absolutely awful. Really hard to fix after you do that. Another thing that I can do is I don't have to insert like a couple of these. Like I can duplicate multiple leaves and make that easier on myself. Here on the actual like vines in here, I don't know if I would want a leaf hanging out in there. We'll also like do some like little stemmies and all sorts of cool stuff here. Alright, so I say we create more than we want, rather than not have enough, because it's easier to delete them than it is to go back and make more. So let's just start putting these like everywhere, and then we'll kind of pick and choose some places where we really like them, and then delete them from where we don't. And you'll notice it's actually not applying them directly to the surface. That is because in your brush depth settings, say mine's set to 100, if we lower that depth value, that will bring it closer to the surface here. But right now, I'm totally cool with just, you know, leaving it the way it is. It's not hard for me to move these. Okay. And sure, we'll do like one more down here. All right. Now that we have all of those in place, I have one poly group, or instead, so if I want to delete all these vines, what I can do is I can control click and drag on that with my transpose tool until I hit another subtool, another object. Control click inverse that, Control W polygroup it so it's all one group, and then I can select it, inverse, delete hidden, and now it's gone. And now what we're left with are leaves, some white leaves. These are pretty high res, 8.8 mil. We'll just lower these down. We could probably decimate these if we wanted to do that. Let's see. So I'm just reconstructing subdivs here. We'll probably remesh these in some way, because I don't think we need the amount of detail that we got going on. Also, I guess I could hide SpongeBob. He's kind of fun though. He's just my friend hanging out over here. If you guys if you're really new to ZBrush and you got, oh, here we go. You got stuff on your canvas like this just happening, and you want that to not happen. Let me quick save before I do this so we don't crash. But I'll see. You know, this is like the very beginner mistake. How do I get rid of all this stuff? There's a shortcut for it, but what you need to do is you need to go into Layer and click Clear, and that'll get rid of everything. Yeah, let's see. Where's our witch? We'll put our witch over here to hang out. She's looking cool. All right. And I will turn on just the staff. I will probably just delete that extra leaf that we made a brush from. And you know what? I'll probably, let me save this brush out, you know? There might be a point where we need that later. So select your current brush to save it, and then just click Save As. And I guess I'll just name that. Oh, I can't see. Ugh. Insert leaf. And we have a few insert brushes that we made during our process here. We made one for this like rounded shape. And we also made one for like this cross or X pattern. I ended up not using it though. But it was still cool to make. A lot of fun. Ariel says the crystal thingy in the staff looks cool. Yeah, you think so? I like it. I like it too. You'll never guess what this material is. This material is jelly bean. It's called the jelly bean material. But I always modify it. So whenever I'm trying to like create gems or crystals, I like to use the jelly bean material. By default though, where is it? Material. By default, the jelly bean material is very dark. And it's like really hard to see. So if you go to material and bump up the ambient, I had it like around like 44. You get like this nice kind of glowy gem type feel. I do like that a lot. Thank you though. Glyphy, welcome. What's going on? We're making some leaves, some leavies. We made some sleevies, now we're making some leavies. So sleevies, now leavies. How shall we leavey? I guess we can maybe do a bunch of different colors for the leaves, or I'll just like make them a slightly darker shade. I'm gonna make these a lot bigger too. Let's just make them... That little color palette down there is so hard to click on anything. It's pretty annoying. Okay. So let's start up here. Like I said, we added more than we wanted. I think it's smart to do more, and then we can just like delete what we don't want afterwards if we don't like what we got going on. And we'll just kind of move these around. And beautiful. Now, if you have a bunch of little objects like this, what I recommend doing is running an auto groups function. That can be found down in polygroups, auto groups, and that'll give every single one of these a different polygroup. And then it's really easy for you to control click to just select one, and then everything else is masked except for that one object. So you'll see me do that a lot. I actually have it in my quick bar menu, my hotkey menu that I pull up, but it's very useful. All right. we'll continue on here. I don't know, I kind of like the amount of leaves we got going on right now. I was thinking this was going to be way too many, but I don't know. I'm kind of into it. Whoa. Also, when you got a bunch of stuff like this, it's hard to rotate sometimes, just because ZBrush will snap onto the last thing that you clicked or sculpted on or moved or touched or done anything to, and it can get a little dizzying and hectic to try to work on all these in one subtool. Nice, yes, very nice. The secret jelly bean material. Now you guys know one more of my ZBrush secrets. You guys know I don't like to give them away. I hold on to them all so very tightly. No, how we need another leaf here, I think. So a cool little thing you can do. You can't do it without, you have to have no sub-Ds to do this, but you can control click and drag to duplicate an object. So I had to delete those subdivision levels to do that. Unfortunately. That's fine though. All right. And obviously we're going to do some variation to our leaves because they're all exactly the same shape. And that's just absurd. Why would we do that? We definitely need some more variation here. All in good time. Let's figure out the scale and orientation of all of these. From our side view, we can't really see a ton of leaves. That's fine. I'm fine with, you know, most of them just reading from the hero angle, the front view. If we really wanted to, though, we could start to rotate from the side angle here and just start to get a little bit more of a read on some of these. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, you know what? I actually found this this new render setup in ZBrush recently, and I don't think this was like right recently. I mean, within the past month. I saved it off somewhere. This was just an image I found from a Japanese digital sculptor. He had a unique kind of render setup here in ZBrush. I wanna go back and check that out, and maybe we can do that on stream tomorrow, if you guys remind me. But I will look for that later. I'm actually gonna make a note of that because I really would like to try rendering in here with ZBrush and try to get like this our cool jelly bean material and all of that. So let's see. I think I have it saved off. Not too far, probably in my downloads or something. So what else do we have? We got sleeveys, and our hands. That's all I had on the list for today, but there are only a billion other things that we could focus on. And if anybody wants to see anything specific, please let me know. We will be, if you guys have not heard, we're going to be on the Pixelogic channel later today, 6 p.m. EST. And we're going to be going through how you can prep files for 3D printing for full color prints. Full color SLS sandstone prints from Shapeways. I'll be going through my process, the same process that I use to make my 3D fusions that I keep showing off. But yes, 6 p.m. Pixelogic ZBrush channel. Definitely come and hang out. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll be streaming for I think 2 hours, and I think that should be enough time to to go through the whole shebang, the kit and caboodle, as they say. Alright. Now I guess we can start adding some variation, some other stuff to our leaves. Let's see. Take a look here. Just everything at once. I don't know, maybe we'll make the leaves. So we are getting a little dark with everything here. Let's try, voila, a little bit lighter of a color. I do kind of like the lighter color. I actually like the idea that, you know, this is a gem of power, right? This is her magical, it's her source of energy. I don't know, something. But there should maybe be more growth, more leaves around where the gem is, and then as it gets down towards the bottom, less and less leaves, less and less growth. I could maybe even inflate some of these vines a little bit too. This vine here gets really flat, like annoyingly so. I wonder if I can just manually pull these verts. So there's actually a function where you can slide an entire edge loop, but this entire thing of geometry is one giant tube. So if I do that, it'll really, really kind of break everything else. I'll fix this one area, but I'll break every other area. So that's a pretty crappy strategy. Instead, let's just move some vertices. I don't know how that got flattened like that. That feels better. All right. Let's see. Let's change the orientation of some of these leaves first. Maybe. Maybe this outside one, because I feel like these three leaves are all facing the exact same direction. Well, they are all facing the exact same direction. So let's change that. And then I will reconstruct back on these. Get the subdivs. And then we can use our move brush and just start, you know, modifying our leaves so they don't all look exactly the same. Which is in fact a bad thing. The lower you go, the easier and faster this happens. But when it's at, what was it, 9 million, around there, 9.5 million, just in leaves, it's pretty hard for it to mess with. It's pretty hard for it to reconstruct all that. But it's totally fine. We will be, like I said, maybe decimating. I don't know if you guys use Decimation Master a lot, but it's really good for, we're actually going to be using it for our printing process later today, if you guys come around for that. But it's really good for if you're just trying to retain form, don't care about geometry. If you're trying to 3D print something, make the slicing process happen a lot faster. That's very helpful for that. Just less polys to calculate. All right, so let's add, we can add a bunch of secondary forms to these, like some curves, get our leaves bending, doing some S curves, all sorts of good stuff. Widen some out. Just change the shape a little bit. I don't think it's gonna need like a ton of variation, but I think a little bit here and there is gonna be nice. Let's rotate this around, make sure that it's reading better from our front view. The back side of the character, you know, it's important, but for this, it's just, we're doing this all for the visual, the best visual we can get. So let's try to get that. Can even do stuff with like squashing some leaves. some squash and stretch. Or pull some like really hard like curves. Pull some really hard S-curve shapes going on. Got a nice curve going on through there. Mainly it's going to be a lot nicer to do this where there's like two leaves right next to each other, obviously. And as it gets more dense up here, I want to make sure that that is all reading nicely. I'm also going to put a leaf on the end of this because this feels very, very awkward right now. So let's just edit this big one. Oh, now these are the same polygroup because I duplicated that one, so I'll just run a new auto groups here. And I will, let's bring this a little bit closer and try to get some like layering happening. Maybe not. Boom, beautiful. Something like that. And up here, I think we'll just do the same thing that we did before with the squashing and the stretching. And up here as well. I don't really think a lot of variation is necessary, just enough that like we don't have 1, 2, 3 all looking exactly the same. So let's try to really pull this guy out here. And up jaw. All right. We did it. We added some somewhat variation to our leaves pretty quickly there. I wanted to add another leaf here, so let's do that really quick. Let's duplicate, delete higher, and I'm just creating a quick proxy to insert more leaves on. Grab our insert leaf brush, grab our polypaint color material all set up, good to go. Okay, and I'm just gonna look at this here from the side view a little bit. So we're a little bit heavy on leaves on this one side. Let's see here. So let's grab like one of these or a few of these and just take them and rotate them out to the front. This will probably help with that repetition as well. So that doesn't feel quite all the same. So it doesn't feel all the same. And beautiful. Beautiful leaves, okay? We did it. We did one. I say we do the same here. For this guy. I'll just rotate him out a little bit more. So I definitely want that to still be able to read from the front view, which it absolutely is. And as we turn to the side, you can still see that a little bit too. So I try not to make anything that's like parallel with an orthographic view, especially the ground plane. What just happened? Oh no, I rotated everything. So really try, what is going on here? All right. Really try hard not to make parallels. Really avoid making a parallel with your ground plane for anything, any kind of silhouette. It looks really bad. And I'm not just talking about leaves here. I'm talking about like if your character has clothing or like if the top of this boot was like parallel with the ground, it's not, there's nothing in real life that's parallel. Like, avoid parallels at all costs. Maybe not all costs, but I think you get the idea. Let's see here. Do I want to add more leaves? I think probably not. I don't know, maybe I can make some leaves a little bit bigger over here. Just to have them a little bit more visible. Other than that, though, I'm pretty happy with the leaves that we have. Let's see. And next step would be to remesh these leaves so they're not 10 million polygons. I think I have almost as much polygons in these leaves as I do in the entire rest of my character. Like, no joke. Let's see. This is 9 million. Yeah, almost 10 million, and we have like 22 million total. It's like about half. That's ridiculous. We will change that. Don't worry. For now, though, we need all those hyper real leaf details. Look at those deets. We need to capture every single facet of this leaf. Anything less I will not accept. Alright, we'll squish you, grow you, squish you, grow you. And I think that's feeling pretty good. Okay. Got all our leaves here. And I think I'm just gonna straight up decimate these. So, decimation is awesome. For something that's 10 million polygons, it might take like a minute to calculate. So, there will be some downtime here. And I have an idea for what we can do while we wait. So, Decimation Master, if you guys have never used this, if you don't know what it does, the basic principle is, so you click on Pre-Process Current. That's your current subtool. You can also do everything at once, but we'll just pre-process that. It'll analyze your mesh, and then after it's done, I can essentially set the percentage of polygons I want it to decimate or remove, with it still retaining most of the form of whatever you have. If you decimate something, try it on something that's like really complex. I think you'll notice that it actually retains like a lot of the form, a lot of the detail. But as I was saying, guys, we have not played Intro Fighters in like 4 streams, so we're jumping in on this. If you guys are around, if anybody's here in chat, I know there are some of you here. Let's load this up. Okay, so if you've never played before, all you have to do is literally type anything in chat, and you'll be joined into our fight as long as Intro Fighters loads here. It's been a little iffy. It works sometimes. Ooh, there we go. It's working. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna jump in here. Let me just, I'll type join too, you know. Gliffy's lurking. But yeah, guys, jump in. We got, oh, what? We got engine. You have my icon. I didn't even know that was possible. You better win. You better win this freaking fight. Like, this is it. This is a money match. If you lose, you're making me look bad. Alright, just gonna type ban/ban engine. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in this fight now. Why didn't I get my icon? What the hell? Gliffy's just totally wrecking shop though, so that's great. That's a ton of fun. I'll just die again. You know, I'm everybody's punching bag. That's all she. Ooh, oh, actually. Okay. Well, that's about as cruel as it gets. Give me a little bit of hope at the end. Have just a sliver of health, and then just and then just wreck me. Pelmy is me now. What the hell? Why don't I get to be me? Why don't I get my own icon? Okay, our decimation's done. Cool. You guys can do that out. I'm just gonna click decimate here and let this do its thing. Decimation's really fast after you process everything. It takes like seconds to do, so it's already done. Let's look at our leaves though. Oh, we're gonna go way lower than that. We're gonna do like 5%. Bam. So if you look here at the decimated geometry, this is pretty cool. Pelmy, stop it. Stop beating up on me. I'm glad you won though. You do have my icon, so props to you. So check it out. Check it out the way Decimation Master works. So it will keep topology where it only needs it. In these flat areas, it will have a lot less polygons. It's pretty cool. But I'm on, 5% of the original topology, and it has retained all of that form perfectly fine. I could even go lower than this and be totally fine too. All right, who am I fighting? This is the one. This is the one. This is my fight. I have a spear. I'm me. Pelmy's also me, which is a little weird, but I have a spear and I can actually win something. So I'm excited. I never win. I never get to win. Yes. I am the champion. Oh no. All right. So I finally won a match, so I feel like that's... I shouldn't press my luck. I feel like if I press my luck... No, I'm not a cheater. Look, it's my stream. I'm allowed to have a spear. Let's see here. Let's grab our gal. Now that we got leaves and all that cool stuff going on with our stuff. What the heck? I forgot the shortcut to drop something to my canvas. Is it Shift S? Yes, it is. I feel like everybody does that on accident. I couldn't remember how to do it on purpose. Yes, Shift S drops an object to your canvas. Okay, so we got our leaves. We've got our sleeves. Although the sleeves still need some work. The hands need some work too. I think that's either a good place to stop on our gal here, and we can try something else if you guys want to see something specific. If anybody in the chat that's joining us wants to see anything specific, how do you do X, fill in the blank, or so we can do that, or I can sit here and tweak like little things on our character. It is up to you guys. I will let you decide. If somebody in the chat has, like I said, an idea, I really want to see blank, let me know. So let's save this out. And do remember, for all the people that are just joining us now, I'm going to be streaming again at Anima and Pelmy, going at it. I'm going to be streaming again today at 6 p.m. EST, taking this SpongeBob muffin and showing you guys how to set up 3D files for printing, for full color prints. Here's my little Follygon guy. He's really tiny, but he's like this little cube boy. He's actually on screen right now. So hey, there he is in oh, hey, stop covering him up as a 3D print. But yeah, we'll be looking at that process later, looking at all these cool dudes. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here, Pelmy. You're beating up on people. I can't click. There we go. All right. So 6 p.m. EST on the Pixelogic ZBrush channel. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool stuff, 3D printing, full color sandstone, and we'll be walking through that entire thing. So until someone suggests something, I'm gonna keep going on this gal, just finding little nitpicky things until we start to, whoa, so flip her upside down. Yeah, so a couple things I wanted to fix were here in the sleeves. Let's get in here and fill in some of these gaps. Or just essentially move this forward more. Make that not anywhere near as deep. And that's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Let's turn off that poly paint for a moment. You know what? Let's do another ZRemesh. But this time we will do a good job. All right. You guys, all you guys care about is the bloodshed. You guys just want to duke it out, call each other cheaters when you lose. I don't know what the big deal is. Look, here. I will leave it open. If you guys want to beat each other up, you can do that. We gotta play nice. I know. I will also join in for the first fight. All you have to do is type anything in chat if you want to play. Maybe I can make that smaller. Nah, it's fine. That's cool. That won't be in the way at all. Okay. Let's see here. I wish I could keep... Yeah, I could manually sit here and... What the hell? Why... Again, Pelmy is my icon. But... I wish it had a way of keeping track of wins. That'd be sweet. I also downloaded, I don't know if you guys have seen the marble racing thing. I downloaded that the other day and I was playing with it. It's actually a lot of fun to just mess with. Maybe we'll do a marble race here at the end. I've never tried one before. But we can, I don't know if you guys have seen that. They're so stupid, but they're, I don't know, they're just funny to watch. Alright, that's not right. Why are you freaking out? Huh. Strange. Alright, let's see here. We got Gabe Newell on my face, beating me up. There's a joke in here somewhere, I don't know what it is. And Pelmy looks to be some kind of like anime boy. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's fix this sleeve. Boom. What would be awesome is if we can get one of the big fights, one of the like 10-person fights. But we've only done that once. If we can do it again though, that would be awesome. What is this icon that's in front of my face right now? Little anime boy. Who are you? Anybody know? Oh, I think it's little anime boy. I think it's supposed to be Mercy, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if it's Mercy or not. It was kind of hard to tell. Ghost of Christmas Future jumping in here with an adoop. Adiop. That's not even a word. You can't just make up words and hope to win a fight. The better your message is, the better chance of you getting a weapon is. But it turns out in this one, Christmas Future ends up kicking my butt either way. It doesn't even matter. That's sad. All right. Let's see here. And I think you kind of look like, I don't know who that is, but you kind of look like Mewtwo King. I don't know if that's correct. Probably not. I'm gonna guess that's what you, whoa, what? What's going on here? Ah, I see. ZBrush is very finicky with certain things when it comes to, whoa, tapping on an edge or a face or a vert. It's like, do it perfectly or you will be absolutely wrecked. Everything will break. What do we need right now? One more? I think we can get one more to join. That's a small one. If we can, we should try to get the 8-person fight. Oh no, this is kind of breaking in here. Let's try to make this more shallow. It didn't really work out though, did it? Try something like that. Let's see. See if I can fix this really quick. With a quick and dirty method. We'll try it. Alright, alley-oop. Who am I fighting? I have to reclaim my... Yes! I am my icon, and you have a spear, so I'm probably gonna lose, but either way, I will come out on top. No, I will not. That's okay. All right, this is the last one. If I win this one, this is the last one. Okay. We'll put the fights on pause because I don't think we're gonna get 9 people in here. I never win. I never win. But I am glad that I got my icon at the end there. That's nice. My little emote guy. My Follygon. Alright, let's take a look here. So I'm just jumping around. Any little thing that I left earlier, trying to fix. Let's see. Make sure all of our materials are fixed for now. Fill all these in. And let's see. There are a couple materials that actually I don't want to be that, which is fine. If your materials ever get messed up, you can use the Subtool Master. It's in your Z plugin, and you can just use the fill option. That's what I just used to fill in all my materials there. I'll just undo it on the eyes because I have the eyes set up for toy plastic. And up here I have that set up as the jelly bean. The jelly bean crystal for Gravy Nova. The best witch name I've ever heard in my entire life. Cool, so that fixed that little sleeve issue that we had going on. There were some little forms up here in the hat I was looking at earlier. Just kind of cleaning up with some pinching for the most part. Right now I'm thinking just probably a little bit of inflate in certain areas. Let's see. Alright. Lower that Z intensity even more. Inflate is, Inflate's super strong. I already have it by default turned down really low, and I'm turning it down even lower right now. The default for the inflate brush is like super high. It's just here. I think this is close to the default for the inflate brush. It's like, that's not useful for anything. That's not even inflating my surface. It's just like pretty much the standard brush at that point, which I don't even use. Like, never use the standard brush other than for poly painting. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I know a lot of people use the standard brush other than for poly painting and for like texture application with like alphas and stuff. That's pretty much all I use it for. I don't actually use it for sculpting. At least not very often. There might be like that odd case where the standard brush is the only thing that will work, but that is a very, very odd case. It's not common. Okay. So I am trying to inflate around some of these areas where I put in these tight creases earlier to build up the form. And then try to soften some of these super hard edges. I think we've got some cool shape language going on here with a lot of these. I think a lot of it's just a little bit too tight in some areas, so knocking some of that back and just inflating around these areas is helping out. Make this feel a little bit more like a somewhat leathery, not leather, but some kind of, I don't know, rawhide material. Something that's a little bit more stiff than, not like, maybe velvety, I don't know, something that's a little bit more stiff. It would have a little bit more of some of these tighter creases that we do have going on. Somewhere between leather and cloth, we're getting there. These tight. This is like the example one that I would say this one's the best that I have so far. I'm trying to get everything else up to that level. A little bit of trim. And back to inflate. There we go. I think that works pretty well. I mean, really for the most part, I don't use a ton of brushes. It's very few that are in my regular setup down here. And even out of these, I only use like half of them. Like for most standard operations. It's like 2, 3, 4. These are clay tubes, trim, and move are my go-to for just about everything. And then, like I said, of course, like every once in a while, you know, inflate. Like I'm using that right now a tad. But I don't use inflate a lot. I don't use a lot of these a lot. It really doesn't. It's not like you need a ton of brushes to sculpt with. Let's see. We might add an extra subdiv to our hat here too. I think this is starting to shape up nicely. It's been a few days since we've even really looked at our hat, so I haven't done too much in here lately. Let's add an extra subdiv in here. Just in some of these areas it's getting really stretched and tight. What's really nice about our hat here is that this was completely poly-modeled in ZBrush. So we have all these low-res subdivision levels. If we want to make some like really big change here to the hat, we can do that at a low subdivision level and then step back up, and all those changes take place up through that stack there. Very helpful. Any chance that I do have where I can, you know, poly model something here in ZBrush, I typically will, if I'm willing to put in the time, or if it's like a major feature, something like a hat here, like a big witch hat. Witch hat is a pretty major feature for a witch character, in my opinion. So with something like that, you know, I'll definitely take the time to make it look as good as possible. And getting those low-res, clean edge loops and everything, it's a huge part of that. Alright, clean up through here some more. It gets a little messy in the back with all these curves kind of meeting up, so I think I'll just kind of take some of that back a little bit. And all meeting in the same spot, or at least they were a little bit too much. That feels a lot better to me. I've also gone through and just added some, you know, normally I don't, we try to avoid warble, anything in the surface that's uneven, not creating a clean surface, but in something like this, with this type of material, it might be something we try to capture a little bit more. And I've tried to do that in some areas, but I'm trying to, oh man, this is hard to see. I'm trying to be a little bit selective with that. You don't want it ending up just super messy unintentionally. And it's very easy to make something super messy unintentionally. Other than that, here on the hat, I think that that'll be a good kind of finisher for it. We'll round out some more of these and call this hat done for now. I don't think there's really too much else I want to do to it. I always leave it open though if I want to come back and maybe add some more of these folds or try to tighten up some of these crevices, get some of these pinches to happen a little bit better. Go away. Cannot work on this with all this stuff in the way. Is our song even playing? Can't really hear it. Okay, so a little bit more here on the tip, just the tip, and then we'll be done. And then after this, I don't know what to do after this on this gal. I think we'll probably take some time to look at her and figure out what else we want to change. I'll show you guys a technique that I like to do a lot for self-critiquing your own work. The best thing you can actually do if you're trying to self-critique yourself, if you're trying to critique yourself, or if you're just trying to improve your own work or kind of refresh your eyes, that best thing you can do is just step away from your work, get away from it for a minute, or an hour or longer. But another thing that you can do, thing that I like to do a lot, is take my character here, and this is going to be in front of my face probably for a moment, but I'm going to drop this to the canvas, and I'm just going to drop this to the canvas in a few other places. I'll do one side view for now. I think this will be a good starting point. Then you can go up to Document, Export, and just save off a temporary image. You can also just take a screenshot if you want to do that. But I'll just call this temp.jpg. Sure, looks good. Then go into Photoshop. Crazy, I know. And where'd our image save off to? Open with Adobe Photoshop. Cool. And then all you have to do in here is flip your canvas. Flip your canvas. And I have that set up to a hotkey. If you don't know how to do that, I think you can Control T, transform, right click, and go to flip horizontal. I believe up here in image adjustments layer, it's up here somewhere where you can flip your canvas. I have it set up to a hotkey though, like I said. Image rotation, yeah, there we go. Flip canvas horizontally, that's another way to do it. That flips everything, like all your layer stacks, but if you just want to flip one layer, you can do it through the transform, like I just showed you. Okay, so then after you flip your image, what do you do then? Typically, I'd say walk away for at least, a few minutes and refresh your eyes and come back, but we don't have time for that. Who's got time to take a break? What? Oh, why is my brush not getting bigger? Cool. Okay. And then we hide everything. Just zoom in real big here. And now what I'll do is I'll just start marking stuff with my pen that I don't like a lot. So I'll start on the front view here if I'm looking at the silhouette. Some things in this hand. So first of all, the shadows are definitely, I think, too strong. So I'll just make a note and say, shadows. Or, you can be really specific if you want. This finger, I want to straighten this finger out. This feels like it's got some curve to it. The angle of these fingers in general feels really off to me, so I'll make a note of that as well. Not angel, but angle. And I'll continue just swooping around here. I definitely want to do something more with the sleeves, so I'm thinking maybe some like larger sleeves. We'll experiment with it, something like that. How are we feeling down here with the silhouette and the leg? I've thought this for a while, I just haven't really done anything with it, but changing the angle of rotation of this foot to angle out a little bit more, I think is going to help with the flow through the entire body that we have going on. This huge arc, this huge line of action. It feels like to me that as we get here, this starts to change the line of action. So I think we'll just say change angle from the front view, right? To point out to the left more. So this is pretty much all I do when I'm trying to self-critique myself. There I go, yeah. Critique myself. Hop into Photoshop or Paint, whatever you got, it doesn't matter. And just start taking notes really quick, finding things that stick out to you. And I won't continue to do this, although there's quite a few things that I'm noticing that I would like to change, but we won't go through the entire process here. But this is a great way, just flipping your canvas in Photoshop. It really helps you kind of see your character just from literally a different perspective, but also, it just helps put it in a new light and makes some of this a lot easier for you. Yeah, this foot, I'm definitely wanting to change that angle now that I look at this even more. From here, I'm fine with that. That looks cool. That feels good. A lot of this is feeling really good. They're just like minor things that I will sit here and nitpick on. But this is good. It's really good to do this, to just take your work to the next level. It is the little things that add up to big changes, and it just takes time to do that. So even if it's something as simple as, I don't like that curve, I want to make that more of a straight, like, do it. Look at all these little things. It might seem like such a little turn, little move, but these things really do add up. They add up really quick. Let's turn our boot. And while I'm turning our boot, oh geez, SpongeBob, you look freaking terrifying, man. Let's grab your material here. And I'll just dump you off here in the corner. So for those that are joining us here at the end, I'll mention this for the last time, I'm gonna delete all of my SpongeBobs. I will be streaming on the Pixelogic ZBrush channel later today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. EST, and I will be working on taking this SpongeBob muffin that I made a while ago and setting it up for 3D printing in full color SLS sandstone. And I have a bunch of these on my desk that I've pulled up and shown off here throughout our stream. So many cool little 3D prints. There's a link below if you guys want to look at them some more. I won't continue to show them off here though. But yeah, if you guys are interested in 3D printing in general, and you're interested in the idea of 3D printing something that you made in full color, which sounds really cool. I love these. I think they're a ton of fun. Definitely come and swing by if you can. And if you guys end up missing it, not a worry. It will be up on their YouTube channel in the next couple days. But 6 p.m. EST, come hang out. Pixelogic ZBrush channel. Just give that a quick Google and you should find it. Or up in the Twitch bar, the Twitch search bar, if you type Pixelogic or ZBrush, it should pop up. Okay. So that little, ankle twist, rotate this out more. Just change let's change this angle. feel like it's more like the heel is off center here. That feels better. As you start to make these rotations, it's really easy to break stuff. And I'm sure I have broken my ankle a little bit here. Well, that's okay. It's worth it. It's worth it. Try to mask this off. And just fix some of this angle a little bit in the leg. And let's see here from our hero angle. Honestly, I want to, you know what? I think what it mainly is now is I want to try rotating this entire leg a little bit. I feel like it's pointing in too much, just based on the direction of that knee. So let's try not to completely break a leg here. Break our leg. And let me set up this line of rotation. And that's not super great. Let's just rotate out a little bit. It feels like it's breaking even more. Let's see, the line of her hips. She doesn't have a body in there, so it's a little bit tougher. A little bit more tough to line out. So your leg doesn't have a whole lot of twisting ability when it comes to your femur, but for your knee, you can angle that a little bit by rotating your leg. So maybe just a tad out, and I think we've broken our ankle some. Let's grab this and try to fix it. So I think just kind of moving this over through here. Just trying to get a nice silhouette. Whew. And I'm gonna take this sweatshirt off because I'm dying. I've had my heat on for the past couple days. It's been so cold here. But now let's see. It wasn't supposed to be that hot today. It's like 45 right now. That's really cold. I can't really... Let's go back to our subtools, and that is feeling better to me. Maybe it's just how thin that's getting. Let's go back to our subtools and look at it really quick. And we'll take this off because I'm dying. I don't want to melt. Oh no. Got stuck. And I'm going to open up my door. Let some air in. It gets really hot in my office during the summer because it's such a tiny room. Got my computer running all day. I never turn this thing off. And I'm in this little nook of windows here. All these windows around me. Lets in a ton of heat. It gets really, really warm. But yeah, I think did that already do that foot? I don't know. I think it did. But yeah, once that's finished, I can at least rotate around here and take a look at that. And then I think... We'll see. We got a lot of subtools. We have 54 different subtools now. It's a decent number. Alright, let's take a quick gander at our boot. And the angle of our foot now. I think I'm going to leave that for now. And if we want to change that later, we can. I'm going to call that good for now. It feels like maybe I pushed it a little bit too far, but I'd rather push it too far than not enough and not make a significant change. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm doing a little bit of a shorter stream this morning so that I can get some work done before the next stream, which is, again, 6 p.m. EST over on the Pixelogic and ZBrush channel, which I will post a link to in chat for those that do not follow them. But yes, there is the link. 6 p.m. EST, 3 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be looking at doing some cool stuff with 3D printing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely come and hang out, and I hope to see you guys there. Also, I'll shout out here at the end, if you guys like the Twitch stream, if you like the free stuff that I do, please definitely check out my Gumroad. There's a link down below to some cool courses, some mentorship, my new rendering course, which is a split off of my Sculpting a Stylized and Appealing Female Face in ZBrush course. But there's, hours and hours of real-time footage with these courses, with voiceover and everything else. The rendering offshoot and this actually include my render setup in KeyShot, so the scene file, the materials I use, and the lighting setup and everything else. So definitely check that out if that's something that interests you. There's some other stuff on here, like the newest stylized character base mesh that I just uploaded, which you can grab for just a few bucks, which is what we used for this character here. So at the beginning of our stream, if you guys go back and watch the whole process, which is on my YouTube channel, you can see us create the base for our character, this little gal up top, this little cutie. But yeah, we had a lot of fun working on this, and yeah, you can grab it for just a few bucks on there. But cool guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I hope to see you later today, again at 6 o'clock EST on the Pixo channel. So with all that said, I will see you guys next time. All right, have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you later. Bye now.